there's something I want to go over with you once we get down there. It's an Amish home, but there's a little building. It'll be about 3/4 away off the driveway or the lane. And I'll tell you about that little building when we get up there. We can all see it. Everyone should be able to see that little building now. Everyone see the little building there on the left?
Yeah.
That little building is a phone booth.
Oh,
Back
wow.
in the 1950s, the Amish went to the bishops, told the bishops they needed a phone for emergency purposes. The bishops told them they could get a phone, but they had to keep it in the
Поняли.
driveway.
Оце
Because they
тільки,
cannot have
ото
a phone
телефон,
in the
все.
home.
Не можуть мати
Even today,
телефон в
they
хаті.
cannot answer a phone in the home. And the Amish would call that their phone shanty. And coming up down here, hopefully, see on the right there, that buggy there? That buggy right there, that's the family buggy. I'm going to give you a price on it later. You'll be shocked at how much it costs.
Ого,
There's a
добре.
nice looking garden. It'll look even better in a few more weeks or months. Coming up here on the right, the Amishman rebuilt his Gary's house last year. He's got a nice building now. Before the other was falling down. Now coming up down here on the right is another garden. Now it's just getting started. Give it a few more months, it'll look really nice. Cemetery here is an old French cemetery. It's not Amish. Now this Amishman here on the right, he used to sell hinges and harnesses. But he took his sign down about 4 years ago and he hadn't sold anything since. So I take it he has retired. Down here on the left, this Amish lady down here has a business. She sells fabrics. We get down there, if you look on the roof of the building, you're going to see solar panels up there. Those solar panels are used to charge batteries. And those batteries are what she uses to run her cash register. She also has a phone in that business that she can use during business hours only. If she needs to make a phone call after business hours down here at the
Ото
end of the
телефон,
driveway, then that
поняли,
phone
як
right down
телефона
there.
треба держати, де ото.
The Amishman over here on the right, he used to sell free-range eggs. His sign broke, fell down, he left it lay about a month. The next one he put up, he was selling puppies. He left that up for a couple of weeks, then he changed it, he was selling cucumbers. A couple of weeks later, he changed it, and he was selling popcorn. And today, you see there's no sign up there, so I take it he is sold out. Coming up down here on the right is a very important business for the Amish. This is the blacksmith shop. Now, the Amish have to visit the blacksmith about every 6 weeks. They have to visit because the horses' hooves keep growing, just like our nails. And they have to go there to have them trimmed. There's a buggy, there's a scooter that they use as well.
Тут,
They
коротше,
have to go there to have them
обрізають
trimmed. If they
коням.
do not have them trimmed, they can overgrow the horseshoe, and the horse could wind up lame. And the horse is too expensive to let it wind up lame. So they will make sure they get there. Over here on the right, there used to be chickens in that pen right there. I don't know what happened to the chickens, but I haven't seen them in there in a while. Same way here, there used to be horses in there. I have no idea where them horses are, but they're not there.
Yes, under the tree.
Well, there's some under...
Under the tree there are the horses.
Oh, were they? All right, this Amishman used to raise miniature horses, but it's hard to find a miniature horse here anymore. But today he has miniature horses. You can see them right over here. There's one of them, and the other one's here someplace. Ah, there it is under the tree. There's the miniature horses. Here's a buggy coming. It's another family buggy. Over here on the left, the Amishman here he farms, but he also does another business. He repairs farm equipment. And he does any type of farm equipment. He does it for the English and the Amish alike. Now when the Amish buy a home that used to belong to the English, they never get enough land to do any kind of farming. If they're lucky, they get enough land where they can build a carriage house. And enough land where they can have a nice garden. So they have to have some other type of work. Coming up down this road on the left-hand side are going to be 3 homes that were bought a few years ago by the Amish. And those Amishmen are carpenters. And they're lucky because they have a job with a contractor. What makes them so lucky is that contractor picks them up every morning in the pickup. He drives them to the job site. On that job site, they get to use electric tools. When that job's over at the end of the day, he picks them up again and brings them back home. They don't even have to provide their own way to work. Now, when the Amish do buy a home belonging to the English, First thing they must do is remove the electric meter. Then they have 1 year to remove the line from the pole. That home over there on the right, that's another Amish home. Down here on the right, that home's Amish as well. And here's the 3 homes I told you about belonging to the carpenters. All 3 of these were bought a few years ago. Coming up down here on the left-hand side is going to be Millbridge Village. Millbridge Village is a campground that is English owned. And you can see it's full service. But the farm right there on the left, that is Amish owned. Here's another one, the buggies. And over here on the right, these are all English homes here on the right. But at the top of this little hill here is land owned by the Amish. Now they farm a little different than the English do. And I'll try to explain it to you once we get up here. Here it is right here on the right. Now if an Englishman owned that field, he would grow 1 crop in the entire field. Well, the Amish don't do that. The Amish split a field up. And they grow various crops. Like right there, they're growing 1 corn. Now they grow the same thing the English grow, they just don't grow as much of it. And in between each crop, the Amish are going to grow grass. And they're going to grow that grass because they need that for feed for the animals over the winter. That'll become hay. The Amish also grow tobacco. They do not process tobacco, but they grow it. And the tobacco that's growing here in Lancaster County is sold to an Englishman out of North Carolina. And that's where it's taken for processing. And the tobacco that's grown here is used for cigars, either for the wrapper or the filler. Over on the right, this is English, it's Amish land for now on the right. On the left, it's English. But then it switches after the road. On the right now, it's English, and the left, it's English. This is all English land here, right and left. And this home coming up here on the right, that is another English home. Tell by the wires going to it.
Yeah.
Ah, here's another one. The buggies are out in force tonight. Alright, if you look to your right back in there, that farm back in there, that is an English farm. And if you look close, you can see why, because you can see the poles and the wires leading down to it. Showing the electric going there. Down below it there on the right, though, that is an Amish home. Over on the left is another Amish farm. Now the Amishman over here on the left, he has a business. He has a welding business. And he has an English employee. So when we get up there, you see the pickup belonging to the employee. But directly up in front of us, that bungalow there, that is English as well. And here's the Amishman over here, has the business. There's the sign for the welding business. And there you see the pickup belonging to the Englishman that works for him. That's an English home right here on the right. And over here on the left, that's another Amish home. And over there on the right, that's Amish farm. The left is Amish as well. Now I'm not sure what is growing here on the right. I'm going to have to wait till it gets up a little higher. Then I'll probably be able to tell what it is. Over here on the left, though, that's corn they're growing there. More than likely field corn. And these 2 homes right here on the right, they are English homes. And this farm up here on the right, or this field here, they're growing grass in that field. Last year they grew grass also. Now last year the Amishman got 5 cuts out of that grass. This year he's gotten 1 already. So last year he had plenty of hay. This year he's got on a good start. Now over here on the left is the Amish 1-room schoolhouse. Yes, the Amish just use a 1-room
Школа.
school.
Бачите, яка школа.
And the Amish only go to school through the 8th grade. They don't go any higher than the 8th.
Тільки до 8 класів йдуть, після 8
In
все.
school, the Amish learn English, reading, writing, arithmetic, geography, history. No sciences.
No,
The Amish don't teach any of the sciences because they don't believe them.
Science
Teacher in that school is going to be a young lady with an 8th grade education. And she's only going to teach
Вчителька
as long
теж
as she is
8 класів.
single.
Ви тільки може вчити,
Because
якщо
once she
вона
gets
не
married, she's going to
замужем.
be too busy taking care of her family to teach.
Як тільки виходить
And
замуж,
while
то
she's
тільки
teaching, she'll
сім'ю.
make about $8 an hour.
Щось таке.
And when she's not there, she
$8
stops teaching.
Yes, because she'll be too busy taking care of her family.
Yeah.
That's an English home right there on the right. And beyond the trees here on the right, that's English as well. Farm here on the left. That is Amish. They're selling duck eggs here. Anybody want a duck egg? They're spotted right there. All right, coming up down here, I'll show you how close we live together as well. You're going to be able to see that right here. Right here on the left, that is an English home. Over on the right, it's English as well. And up here on the left, this one's also English. But right next to it here on the left, that home right there is Amish. Farm over on the right is Amish as well. See the Carey's house in the back of that one. But right next to it here on the left, that is English. And this up here is Amish as well, right here on the left. And coming up down here on the right is another Amish home. Now the Amish, I think, rent this home from the English because the meter and all is still there. So it's probably English owned and the Amish rent it. Here we go, Fairview Groceries. Fairview Groceries is an Amish owned and ran grocery store. Besides all the things that you see on the boards and on that sign, something